My name's Greg Mandel, and I live in the little town called 84, Pennsylvania, a town with a number instead of a name. So it was just a unique car. It was pretty far advanced for 1963. You know, and when you look at the body style, even today, it's just pretty awesome to look at. Every Corvette, all the C1s up till 1962, they only came in a convertible. So this was the first year that the chief engineer, Zurich Duntov, I think he went to work for GM in 1956, and he worked through the Sting Rays up until 1967. Zurich Duntov, I think he was in Key West, Florida some years prior, probably back around 57 or 8. And he found some Sting Rays in the water, and he looked at their style and the way they were designed. Well, actually, the way God designed them, and you look at the back of it, and he said, that could be a neat looking back end for a Corvette coupe. So he wasn't even thinking about the split window at that point, but then all that came about, you know. And if you look at the ridge that comes all the way from the top of the roof down, there's actually a ridge in the roof, which gives it more eye appeal. But yeah, that's how it came about, from a deep sea fishing trip, the design. Well, I only know as far back as 1988, because the man that I bought it from, that's when he acquired it, 1988. And he bought it, I don't think his name was Ron, he was an engineer by trade. And I don't think he'd ever owned a Corvette. And he had a serious interest in restoring a C2. And I think when Ron bought it, he bought the body, there was no engine in it, just the body and transmission. And so he bought it in 88, and then he started a restoration around 90 or 91. And took the body off the frame, and the C2s, just from age, can have some rust issues with the frame itself, with the gussets meet up. And it was fixable. Ron, his good friend, was a welder. He said, we can fix this, it'll be as good as new. And Ron says, I'm going to this much trouble and knowing there was rust on the frame. So he called GM, and he was able to buy one of the last frames that they had in storage for the car that would fit it. It was a labor of love. It wasn't until 2001 that he finished restoring the car. It was one of those things, his wife enjoyed driving it, and he told me that he would probably sell it someday, but he wasn't sure when. So I asked him if I could call him and just remind him that I was interested in it, which I did, about once a year. And his wife would always answer the phone. And after about 3.5 years, I think it was, finally, I got the good news. She said, hold on, Ron will talk to you. So it was a matter of 2 or 3 days went by, and my brother and I, we had gone over and we made a deal, and I was going to purchase it. And my brother and I was so excited. We were going back to pick it up. And that was my dream, probably since I was a kid, to own a mid-years coupe. And the split window was probably the highlight. That was my main focus on. So I bought it, and I've never looked back. It's been really a joy to have. I've felt privileged that I owned it, and that's a part of American iconic history, you know. It just feels good driving it down the road.